Hello folks, welcome to the UK Games Expo live stream. Remember me? My name's Millie, and with me every week up here, although over somewhere on the screen, there we go, it worked, is Kate, the UK Games Expo marketing manager. How have you been?
Yeah, really good. Really good. It's we survived the snowpocalypse, as in there was a gentle dusting of stuff and then it went away again. We got some ice cubes out the freezer, put them in the snow, dusted the snow on them, sort of like a snowman.
Nice.
But yeah, south doesn't really have that sort of weather. How about you guys?
Yeah, we were all right up here. It's a bit cold. I've got a blanket on my lap at 12 on a Wednesday, so
I've got Bacardi, so yes, we can both do our little old ladies on Twitch.
yeah, I like it. It's good. And we are joined by Ben from the fabulous Carbag Games. How are you doing, Ben?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you for having us.
You're welcome. Thank you very much for diving in.
Oh,
there we go.
Pretend I'm in a real place. Hello, yes, this is my office.
This is just where you are, yeah. Thank you very much for jumping in at short notice. I really appreciate the frantic kind of yes, no, I can be free moment or two that we had yesterday. I really appreciate that. Thank you. And
no problem.
We would love to learn all about Garblag Games. And first of all, what's a Garblag? What is it?
Okay, a Garblag is one of those made up words that fits in to replace another. That's at least 5 Garblags.
Oh, I see.
He's as big as the great Garblag himself. Things like that. It's one of those sort of nonsense words that you get cropping up in sci-fi and fantasy that was used as filler. And it kind of took on a life of its own and snowballed all out of control and took over the channel. So Garblag Games is named after a sort of nonsense word, gap fill.
Nice. We're going to polarize the Garblags and change the emitter array.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, I like it. That's good.
Captain, it's emitting at least 17,000 Garblags.
Crikey, that many.
That many? Yeah. Oh, God. Oh, no. So aside from the obviously there's a love of both fantasy and sci-fi you've mentioned there, which is great. What do Garblag Games do when they're not changing emitters and sizing up giants and stuff?
Well, Garblag Games kind of grew out of a bunch of friends around a table. And obviously with the lack of table that's been going on over the last year, we'd started off a few years back doing some sort of podcasts and shedcasts, and then we moved into doing video. Pete, the founder, the original Garblag, started off running sort of shows out of his shed and in the back of a pub and stuff like that. And then he has a garage that he wasn't using. I went, oh, hey, you know what? I could turn this into a studio. Yeah. So he had this luxury studio set up, which in February was just super comfortable, as I'm sure you can probably imagine. We're all sat around in like 18 layers of clothes going, yes, we're really comfortable in the studio. Little radiator going under the table.
Nice.
And then once the apocalypse pandemic struck and we were all sort of remote and in our little places around the world, we went, hey, you know what, we could still carry on doing this. So I actually got back into it because I'd moved away from the studio, which is based in sunny St Albans.
Oh, nice.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, and so we've got a sort of virtual studio thing going on where we dial in and we do actual plays on Twitch and have a bit of a following on YouTube and play lots of games and do lots of stuff.
Yeah. So looking through some of your like Twitch kind of VODs, your the things you've been playing, and also having had a game or two with the Garblag Games crew. It's everything. It's so like in this past week there's been like Call of Cthulhu, and then there's Aliens, and then there's also like it doesn't feel like there's a single genre that you want to kind of stick in. Are you?
No, we're trying to be as diverse as possible. A lot of what we found was that a lot of channels tend to go for sort of a single unifying theme.
Yeah.
And quite often it's D&D. So obviously the market there, whilst being big, is also kind of glutted with content. There's so much content out there, you find it really hard to pick something unique or different, or a way of setting yourself out from all of the other people that are out there doing the same thing. So one of the things we wanted to do was to experiment with different games, newer games, lots of games, smaller games. So we've got some sort of small indie games. We've worked with a couple of publishers to do live plays of games before they come out or when they're on their way out. So we worked with Frog God Games for Swords and Sorcery, and we've done some stuff with the guys from Rowan Rook and Descartes on Spire and Strata. John Mark Hicks with Those Dark Places. We did a bit of a preview game for him. He came on channel and ran it for us.
Wow.
So
That's
we like
quite exciting, actually, having the people who have written the game, made the game, have them actually on there sort of frothing at you about this thing.
Absolutely, yeah. It's been really, really good. We've had a chance to actually have some of them come on and have a chat with us, and we've play tested a few games, and we started doing quite a lot of Free League content in this last year. Matt, who runs the Free League Twitch channel, has just joined Garblag as a content creator. So we've got this little partnership that we're growing to sort of add in people as content creators and game designers and developers. So we're looking to get into a bit more of the sort of development and design side of things as well. But we've been running a lot of stuff on and with Free League. I know, Millie, you're running some Free League stuff at the minute.
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
I may have done the warm-up act.
Yeah, another time we'll talk about that. Shh.
It's a great set of systems. I think that's one of the things at the moment with Free League is that there is so much going on for them, and so very differing genres that you actually have like worlds and worlds of stuff that you can play with.
Well, they didn't win a UK Games Expo People's Choice Award for nothing.
Yeah, very much so.
So they definitely put the work in. But I will mention I am absolutely biased because I do love all those games. But you're covering like all these different genres. One of the things that I liked when I was watching a lot of the Garblag game stuff was in December, the balmy idea to do a whole month of one-shots.
Oh, yeah, what on earth were we thinking? That was absolutely... We thought, do you know what? If we run a couple of one-shots, it means we won't have to worry about people dropping in and out of games and people who can't make it because they've got this work due or that work due and stuff like that going on. So let's run a month of one-shots and we can pull in some new faces and some old faces and we can test run some new games or some games that are in development. And so we did that, and wow. That took some prep.
It's good to hear that it's not just real life games that need like a million moving parts. It's just the same for...
No, God, no. It was pretty mad, yeah.
So how do you get everyone up to speed if you're playing a game? I mean, does everyone know it beforehand? Do you guys do like a little session zero before you broadcast, or do you kind of wing it and have it as you go through? What's your method with that?
It really kind of varies. In the sort of shorter game cycles, we do some game cycles that are sort of 4 to 6 weeks, and with those we quite often use like pre-gens, where the GM will have like a rough idea and say, look guys, this is what I'm planning, this is the set of characters, which one do you want? We push them out. We use Discord. We've got a really, really good Discord community going on of about 1,000 people. I think it might not be there yet. It might only be 600, but it's approaching 1,000.
Yeah.
So we've got this little community on Discord, and we've got people coming on there saying, hey, it'd be great if you could do this. Sometimes we have some Patreon stuff that goes on there where we have some special patron channels for people who support the channel, and they vote on who plays what. So the GM will go on and say, oh, I've got these players and these characters, who should be playing what? And sometimes you end up getting a bit stretched out of your normal comfort zone.
Which I guess is fun in a way.
Yeah, it's really good actually, because sometimes it means you play something that you wouldn't be normally going to.
Another thing that is fun, and it wasn't just for the one-shot season, is that Garblag doesn't always seem to have the same GM. Like, if you tune in on different shows, you will see somebody else in the GM chair.
Yes, yeah. It's about growing the community. So we've got Pete, who was sort of the founder,
Mhm.
and he runs at least one game a week, and then I run one game a week. And then outside of that, we've started adding in more and more GMs as time goes by. So we've got about another half a dozen people who rotate in and out as and when. We've just had Matt come over, and he's running Masks of Nyarlathotep, the classic Cthulhu
Oh yeah,
game. He's
definitely.
doing that in Pulp Cthulhu so that we don't all die horribly in the second
Yeah.
session.
Look, here's a new
Uh,
set of investigators. Come to find out what happened to the last set of investigators. Oh, wait.
Yes.
Oh, wait. You're all crazy now. Right. And it's a
Yeah.
new set of adventurers. Yeah, I know that. I know that well. Yeah. So,
Well, that was the problem we had with Mutant Year Zero. I'd never run a free league game, and I went, "Oh, I'll run Mutant Year Zero. That sounds fun." So I said to my players at the start of session one, "It's going to be very much our Saturday morning cartoon show." And by the end of the first session, I'd killed half the player base and was just sat there going, "Oh God, what have I done?" I never kill players.
no.
Shocking behaviour.
Shocking behaviour. Oh, no. You've gone a little bit blurry there, Ben.
Oh, sorry, my camera is super sensitive and struggles to keep up with my facial expressions, I think.
Oh, there we are.
Yeah.
That's better. So all these different GMs, and then loads of players, loads of different faces appearing all the time. It's not like you see the same folks on the channel. Like I was watching you did a Vesson one, and the characters in that are different than the folks you have for playing the Nyarlathotep ones. How do you all kind of keep in touch and pick and choose? What is the going on there?
A lot of that does boil down to the Discord chat and who knows what. And a lot of the people that you see more regularly, we started off with this sort of core group that were all based in the same location, as a lot of gaming groups do. And then we've sort of we've gone international now. We've got players who join us from Eastern Europe, from Belgium, from the States, from Canada,
Yeah.
far-flung exotic places like that.
And the same kind of thing seems to be for your viewers as well, because I was watching and folks was like, oh, I'm in Australia, I'm over here in this place, and that kind of stuff as well.
Yeah, we have one particularly crazy viewer who gets up at 5 or 6 in the morning in Australia to tune in and catch our latest shows.
Oh
At
my
one
goodness,
point,
that's amazing.
he logged in from his car on the driveway outside his parents' house because it was the only place he could get working internet, and he'd driven across town, like 30 minutes across town,
Oh, bless him.
get the Wi-Fi to catch the show. I think it was one of our Alien shows last year.
Wow.
That's keen. You
That's
should
pretty
you
keen.
should get him playing with you. You know, I mean, make sure he's real things, because he sounds like super sparkly. And yeah, get him on a show. Ask him what he wants to play. That would be pretty amazing.
That's a pretty good idea, yeah.
Oh,
So yeah, we run a lot of stuff through the Discord, and like you were saying earlier, with session zeros on a longer game where we've got something that we're planning to run, we do like series style. So we'll have a series one, and we'll run 10 to 12 sessions, and then have a break and run something else, and then come back and maybe do series two
yeah.
of the previous show. So with those ones, we'll have a session zero, we'll do character creation. If it's a new system or things that people might be unfamiliar with, sometimes we'll do it on stream so that people can sort of follow along at home. So if you're trying out a new game and you want to look at how the game works, sometimes you can pick up a few bits and pieces from watching that. I think that was the case with our first Mothership game, which is sitting up there at the top 2 Mothership games on YouTube that people can see if they log in and want to see Mothership actual play.
And that's really good. So when I want to learn a game, so I'm very much a kinesthetic learner, which is a fancy way of saying learn by doing. So if I see it played and I play it through with someone, then I've got it in my head. But if I sit with a manual, I don't absorb it. But if I go back to the manual once I've seen it, it's good. So that sort of thing that you're doing is terrific, especially when you're also doing such a variety of games. So if someone wants to know how to play something, goes through, and where you're going through rules or character gen or whatever, it's that shared experience of, oh, well, you know what, does it mean this, does it mean that, what's the best way to do things? So I think that's that's massively valuable as a playthrough as well.
Yeah, we've been able to do the same thing with a couple of virtual tabletops as well. So we've used Foundry and Roll20 as the main ones that we've been doing. And as we get more used to using them, we pick up more functionality and then share that on as well during the stream. So, we've learned how to do this and swap ideas. And again, the Discord community pops in and says, oh, if you want to know how to do that, do this. And it's really helpful there.
So what started in Pete's shed essentially is now grown to this massive Discord community and so many different shows.
Multinational conglomerate.
With the
studio. It's no longer the shed, it's the studio.
Yeah.
But also, and I say this slightly like I don't know, but Cubicle 7 and WFRP, what happened there?
Yes, we've been getting sponsorships coming through recently. So we're running the Enemy Within campaign on Foundry and Twitch. No, we're running it on Foundry, playing it on Foundry, running it on Twitch. There we go.
Yes.
Words hard.
Yeah, yes. Running on Foundry, broadcasting on Twitch.
That's the one. Yes.
Nailed it.
And before that happened, Pete wrote to Cubicle 7 and said, hey, we're planning on doing this. Would you be at all interested in sponsoring us? And it went back and forth a little bit. And we've ended up being sponsored by Cubicle 7 and by Warhammer Games Workshop to run the Enemy Within campaign. So we're doing giveaways. They're giving us loads of stuff that we can give out to viewers. So we've had a giveaway every session, from hardcover books to PDFs, something just to keep the audience ticking over and make everybody happy. And so every week somebody's won something. It's been great.
That's very cool. That's good prize, almost like, it's not prize support, but it is that incentive thing. You know, it's like, not only do I get to watch the thing I'm interested in, but hey, now I've managed to win a thing that I am interested in, and that is tremendous. So
I often wonder...
we've done a few of those over time as well. I mean, some of it we pulled money out of Patreon or Twitch funds and stumped up a prize ourselves, and some companies are more than happy to dish out a book or a manual or a PDF and say, yeah, great, go for it. If you're going to run our property, feel free, give out a copy. So we've done a few of those.
I sometimes wonder, especially for Pete, who is GMing the WFRP, is there like a, oh no, the writers are watching. Oh no.
Yeah, there's always that sort of feeling. When you find out that someone in Twitch is actually connected to the IP and knows what's going on and probably knows the game much better than you, you've got this sort of pressure to perform feeling going on.
Oh, better get this lore right. But I feel like one of the players more than because I put my hand up. I'm playing Brucey Forsyth in this game. It's gloriously silly, but Rog, who is one of the players on that, is also he's got a wealth of WFRP knowledge just there in his brain, and it's great to see him share that rather than having Pete have that mental load. Rod is just phenomenal. It's brilliant.
Yeah, that's been one of the great things about the community, is that we've got a lot of experts in different lore and background and systems who can sort of share what they've picked up. And everybody's really nice about it. Nobody's like, no, you got that wrong. You said it wrong. You did it wrong. It's like this. Everybody approaches it from maybe it's a bit more like that, or I like the way you've interpreted that rule. I'd always seen it as this. So really, really positive community around it as well.
I can see somebody in Twitch chat, Norman Smith 71 already. I'm waiting for them because before the stuff, like you were mentioning, you do it in seasons and stuff. There was a previous season of WFRP with Garblag, and it had some sort of catchphrase or something.
Do you mean Flint and Steel?
It might have been. I think that was said too casually there.
Yeah, you're right. That was said, Flint and Steel. It became very much a catchphrase on the game as it was going on. First time Pete did it on stream, everybody was like, what the hell is this crazy lunatic doing? And then eventually it became a thing and it grew into the community. And we get people coming on streams. There's Norman doing it right here.
There we go. I knew
Vintage
that would happen.
Steel. Hi, Norman. Thanks for coming.
But you because of the way you build this community around your Discord and you have these great folks joining in, it becomes silly kind of things like this that you can share, and it almost reminds you of being back at a table where you have the daft in jokes and the funny kind of comments that at time meant nothing but now are everything, and just send people.
We've had some real crazy input from the community as well. We've got some fabulous fan art that's come in of characters for games. We've had people who are like professional graphic designers just like throwing us stuff and going, oh, I made this while I was watching your stream. Don't know if you can use it.
That's tremendous. Have you got these on a gallery somewhere? Is this on your Facebook or anything?
Those are probably on the Instagram. I would have to check. I'm not the expert there. Sorry, I'm stepping in for Pete. I'm not sure where those are currently hidden. There's certainly some on Discord. I think Norman might be referring to the Vampire Goose.
A vampire goose. Is there a game with a vampire goose?
No, this is from the Cthulhu game. Everybody decided in session 1 that because character I was playing, the Viscount Quentin Aloysius Goff, decided to be reasonable and reason away the existence of the supernatural, that obviously I was hiding the fact that I was a vampire. And then there was a goose in the second session, and somehow the streams got crossed, and we've ended up with me playing a vampire goose in Cthulhu.
Right. That sounds completely RPG.
It's absolutely, isn't it? It's how games work. You start off with something that makes no sense to anybody, and if you take it back 3 or 4 steps, it makes total sense.
Yes. So now there's some artwork of a vampire goose.
Yep.
Nice. We've just had some musical chair. There we go. Fix the musical chairs. Phew. So what are the current kind of shows? We've mentioned the WFRP game. Garblag Games has just joined us in Twitch chat. Hello. Quick, Ben, behave. Yeah. So what are the sort of shows you have going at the minute? What is the current, and do you know what you're planning for like the next couple of months?
Yes, we've got a really full slate going on at the minute. We've actually got 4 games on in a week.
Wow.
Running right now. So we have on Tuesdays Masks of Nyarlathotep, and that's for the foreseeable. I'm told it's a monster campaign and will run for as long as it can run for.
Yes,
we may have some breaks in the middle. We don't know. Wednesdays, we have a Star Wars game, Ranger Squadron, about a group of X-Wing pilots who are assisting a Mon Calamari cruiser after the fall of the Empire, flying around in space. It's like Battlestar Galactica in Star Wars by flavor, I think.
Very, very cool.
Yeah.
On Thursdays, we've got Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay, The Enemy Within campaign. That's running for the next couple of weeks. And then we're following that up on Thursdays with a Traveller game. That's an experimental thing. It has a cast of 12 players, and each session is supposed to rotate in 4 to 6 possible crew members as needed, depending on the mission at hand. So we've got a big cast for that, and we're going to drop people in and out as needed. Fridays, I'm currently running Alien, which is my own little homebrew story, What Lies Beneath, set on an ocean world. We've got a couple of Alien properties on the channel already. One which is very gloriously UPP.
So that was something I was going to ask earlier. It doesn't. So you've got things like Mask of Nyarlathotep and WFRP campaign, which are the pre-written adventures, and then you're mentioning things like the Star Wars one, which I assume is not from a book. And
No,
then you said that the Alien one you wrote yourself.
yeah, we do a lot of our own sort of writing and developing of stories and plots. We've started sort of pushing back and handing them out. So I did in Coriolis, I ran a game that was my own. Thanks, Norman.
yeah.
In Coriolis, I ran a game called the Scheherazade Protocol about a deep space probe coming back. And I'm going to be writing that up and making it available on Drive Through RPG, so that it's not published yet.
Oh, okay. So
But little things like that, we're hoping to get a few more sort of supplements
That's
and
pretty
ideas
good.
pushed out.
Yeah, it's sort of using your channel as a playtest almost as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a brilliant little forum for doing that, because it means that we get to put ideas out there and test them and sort of beta them before writing them up, and we can see where things maybe do or don't work. So we've had a lot of fun building adventures as well. We've all got our own little homebrews ticking away in the back of our heads, as everyone does.
yeah, can confirm.
We've also experimented, I think, let me just look at my schedule for the
While
year.
you're checking your schedule, Garblag Games in the chat, have you got a link to your Discord for us, please?
Ooh.
Yeah, there we go. So Coriolis was January, Alien is February. I'm looking at running either Spire by Rowan Rooker Descartes or Wild Sea, which is still in development. It's a Kickstarter that was 1 billion times funded or something. Really interesting
Kickstarter numbers, yeah.
post-apocalyptic tree world scenario that we did one shot of back in December, and it was really popular. And people have said, "I'll run more of that." So we run a sort of short story arc rather than just a one shot. But yeah, we've got plenty of things coming up over the coming months.
Wild Sea. Gosh, yes, thank you, Norman. So how do people find Garblag? What is the best place to sort of start? Do you recommend, like, we sort of mentioned Flint and Steel? Is that a good place to jump in? Can they just turn up on a Friday night and find out what's going on Twitch?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, rock up most nights of the week on Twitch to Garblag Games, and we'll have something going on. Well, I think we're talking about introducing a Monday game as well, so every weeknight will be covered. There's YouTube, where we've got a huge chunk of stuff going on. We've got loads of our back catalogue on there. The further back you go, obviously the sound quality gets a little bit more ropey. As we were still learning and growing, and before we bought our swanky microphones and our mixing desks, and I say mixing desks like anybody's got more than a little tiny little square thing for streaming.
Yeah. But it's cool to see that sort of growth, that evolution of how
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, a lot of what we're doing is then being put back into the streams so that we can continue to grow and develop, and sort of push on with what we've got, because we've really enjoyed doing it. We've had a lot of fun doing it. It's not like we're doing it as a job. It is a hobby, and it's something that we enjoy sharing with other people. So yeah, come along, have a look at what we've got. YouTube is probably a good place to start if you want to get a feel for it. Maybe drop in on our one shots sub channel on YouTube and have a look at the odd game here and there that you like the IP of, or get started on some of the back catalogue of huge games that we've got. Flint and Steel being our sort of flagship game for the longest time.
But yeah, it sounds.
Do you have something that's a particular? Sorry, I was going to say, do you have something that's a particular personal favourite? With playing so many games, like, is there something that you particularly enjoy as a genre or as a style of game or play? Or is there something where you're like, yeah, that episode, that set of stuff, that was wicked. We really enjoyed that.
Well, we kind of end up with reputations, don't we? So Pete is very much the by the book, deep lore. He likes him some crunchy systems. He's a big fan of second edition D&D and Woofrup and Traveller, stuff like that. So Pete's very much the system guy, and he runs a great game, really atmospheric, but he knows how to manipulate the more tricky systems. I'm the fly by the seat of the pants GM, so I get the weird stuff. Simple systems, weird things, odd properties out of nowhere. That's where I come in and run that. So it really does vary. I mean, if I had to pick a favorite thing to GM, I used to really enjoy second edition World of Darkness stuff. That was
wow.
that was where I really cut my teeth as a games master, was on
Ah,
that. But I'm also really enjoying the Free League properties at the minute and getting really into those.
hmm,
So
Cool.
everybody
that's
has
very
their
cool.
own sort of personal preference. I would say we've got a real mix of sci-fi, of fantasy, of modern and horror, and we try to keep that mix. So if Pete's running a sci-fi game, I'll run a fantasy game, and someone else will run a modern day horror game. And then we might all switch around, and someone else will run sci-fi, and Pete will take the fantasy chair or the horror chair and move it around that way.
Nice. Is there something like have you seen recently or think like I really want to get a game of that in on the channel like you haven't had the chance to play yet?
It's a tricky one. That's a really difficult question. I really get Spire
Spire.
going on there. That's my ambition for the year, is to do a Spire game this year. Spire by Rowan Rook and Picard. It's really atmospheric game set in a weird city where nobody's entirely sure what's going on, and you play rebellious drow fighting against high elf overlords.
Oh, okay, I know the one.
And I quite fancy having a go at that. So that's my
I
number
quite like
one.
that as the yeah, quite like that as the drow, as the goodies.
Yeah, yeah. Because I've never really been a fan of the drow until I read that, and I was like, oh, actually, this has got a lot of mileage.
Yeah. So, but you've already planned that.
Yes,
Oh, exciting. There we
yes,
go.
that's definitely happening.
Dreams come true on Godbug Games. It's been I'm just checking the time here and I know you have to dash off to the real world
Yes.
shortly. So thank you very much for coming and sharing Godbug Games with us.
Absolute pleasure. Thank you for
It's
having
been
me.
great and it's nice to see some of your folks jump over in the Twitch and come say hi to, especially at such short notice. We've put them in the chat. Kate's been very helpful. She had prepared with these links as always. But once again, just tell us where folks can find you, so they can
Yeah,
do
absolutely.
the Googles.
Garblag Games on Discord, on YouTube, on Twitch, are probably the best gateways to finding us. If you come in through any of those windows, you'll be able to get hold of what's going on with us. Twitch, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday nights. YouTube all the time. Discord, there's usually someone on most of the time, dropping in and out. We've got huge amounts of conversation going on, everything from a whole channel about maths and dice crunching that I hate going near, through to the world building channel, which I sit in and go, yes, bask in my world building glory. Just loads and loads of conversations about different games, different aspects of gaming. And it'd be great to have more people come along and join us.
Yeah, I think it would be.
So, do you guys do requests? You've got a great Discord audience and things, it seems. So,
We have,
if
and
people
we
suggest
have been
something,
known
is
to.
that
Yes, we have been known to take requests in the past. If there's something that people particularly want to see, or an up and coming property that's coming out, we've done requests for members of the Discord and for publishers who want to get games out.
Wow,
So yeah, hit us up.
that's exciting. I hit you up in all those places, the Discord and YouTube, and what else have we got? I'm just looking at the chat there. There's podcasts and
we've got Facebook, Twitter?
yeah, everything. Wow,
That should hit most of the.
and an Instagram that
buttons,
we're not
yeah.
quite sure of there.
I'm sure there's supposed to be one. There's like a MeWe or a WeWe or a WeWoo or something else as well.
Right, Weibo.
That might be that.
All
There's
the,
a Redbubble
Yeah.
as well.
oh gosh, everything.
Yeah, I know.
A Patreon.
I lose track sometimes of how many tendrils the great Garblag octopus has.
Wow. Well, yeah. Again, thank you for dropping in and telling us all about Garblag Games. I've been having a blast playing a bit of WFRP on Thursday nights. I will confess that it's been for an old grown ad like me who has, I played this in second edition and I've done it before. Pete is doing a remarkable job of keeping me on my toes, I will say. And thank you for letting me have some games there with you. And thank you for joining us. We're going to take a shortish break so we can refill the coffee cups, do a little bit of the human admin that you must do when you sit still for too long. And we'll be back with Aden, even, from...
I think Aden.
Aden. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, with Box Dungeon.
Box Dungeon, which is on Kickstarter right now. Yeah. So thanks again, Ben. Don't go away, folks. Stick around. We'll be back. And I'm going to click this button now, and we'll just put the loading screen back on. I've forgotten how to do this, okay? This is strange.
This is tricky, isn't it?
It is. Right.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
There we go.